I love it. They needed it. They wanted it. They got it. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, along with Ricky Pitalico and Ben Davis. I'm Michael Barkamp, 4-0 Phillies. They score twice in the game, two different innings, and Aaron Nola looked pretty darn good.
Nola looked good. I thought the one thing that Nola did was go with his fastball over his curveball. He was completely opposite in his last start. The walks he could do without, but who cares? You come out with a 4-0 win, you're pretty happy about it.
Ben, when you look at this outing tonight by the Philadelphia Phillies and a 4-0 shutout win at D.C., they needed it the way they got it like this, didn't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. They left 12 on base. We know that the runners in scoring position has still been a struggle. They're just 3 for 11 on the night. But it was a grind out there. Some base running blunders again. But the bottom line is Aaron Nola kept them in the ball game. They had 2 hits to the Nationals, just 2 hits. It's not the most talented team offensively, I guess you can say.
Offensively,
for the Nats. I was trying to be political.
I'm trying to say, as a major league team,
but they still are big leaguers, but just not really sound approaches tonight. But I like the fact that Aaron Nola, when he missed down, and that was a good thing. His sinker was outstanding tonight.
Ricky Bo, you look at the way this team hit tonight. They did strand runners, certainly. Well, Kyle Schwarber just joined the guys.
I mean, Michael, you think about it this way. They walked 9 times in this game. I mean, they were giving here. Go ahead. You go to first. You go to first. You go to first. You go to first. They left a lot of men on base. I think this game very easily could have been a 10-0 game. And I will say this much: Aaron Nola worked around his walks. I mean, you let Rainey off the hook. Rainey was in the game for 1 inning. You walked 3 guys. You didn't get a run off of them. I mean, that's hard to do. But you know what? What is the main thing? The main thing is that you leave the ballpark feeling good about yourself. They were 3 for 11 with runners in score position. You could take that home with you. Bryce Harper swung the bat extremely well tonight. The only thing missing is really the home runs.
Yeah.
We said last season, let them beat up on the competition that they should, and we'll worry about the Braves and the Dodgers and other teams of that ilk when they play them. But they got to take care of these guys. They should sweep this series. Should they not?
Let me put it this way. After watching tonight, and I'm sure Ben's going to agree with this, I look at this Nationals team as a 4A team right now. I mean, they got some younger guys. They're trying to grow up. You know how hard it is to grow up at the major league level, trying to rebuild a ball club? Not easy thing to do. You saw their bullpen. Their bullpen's a shambles. 1, 3, and 2 walks. You know what? The funny part about that is they came out of that unscathed without giving up a run.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen every night.
Would you say Washington are bottom feeders? Would you go that far as to say that? You want to revitalize them?
Well, the only reason I use the bottom feeders was because they're fish.
Yeah. I got that. All right, fishing where they were placed. They were fishing.
That was the Marlins, by the way, if you needed to know.
At the what did I say?
You said the Nationals.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to Ruben right now down in D.C. who called tonight's game with Tom McCarthy. Ruben, what did you take away from this? What were you most impressed by, and what are they still misfiring on?
Well, I mean, how do you win baseball games? You do with pitching and defense, and they put those two things together. I mean, Aaron Nola didn't have his, what would you would say, velocity-wise, not his best stuff, but he really did pitch well today, and that was the important part of it. He's throwing like 91 or 92 miles an hour, but he moved that fastball in and out. He did sink the fastball, and it made his curveball that much more effective. And, hey, anytime you can combine for a shutout in the major leagues, that's really a big deal. I really liked what I saw out of Sir Anthony Dominguez today. And, a lot of the guys who came out, Matt Strahm threw very, very well in his 1 1/3. Anytime you can throw a shutout in the major leagues, that's huge. They did have opportunities with runners on base, did not, come through with a lot of base hits when they did have men on base. But the bottom line is they won the ball game, and now they're 3-4.
Ruben, one guy who's struggling right now, and that's Nick Castellanos. I got to ask you, what are you seeing from Nick? Because he looks kind of not amused to be playing sometimes.
Yeah, I think Nick is just pulling off the ball just maybe a little bit. I see some him sort of opening him up. I talked about it a little bit during the course of the broadcast today. That once he starts driving the ball through the middle of the field more consistently, I think that'll be fine. I think the thought process right now is just in between. And that happens. And hopefully he gets this out of the way and starts to get hot, because that's when the lineup can get really super deep. If he starts swinging the bat like I know he can, like he has in the past, then this lineup becomes super dangerous. I know that they left a lot of guys on base today. I know it's something that I'm sure that guys would rather be coming through in those situations, but they got the base hits and got enough runs to win the ball game, and that's the bottom line.
Well, speaking of right center, Ruben, Trea Turner with his first extra base hit of the season, a double to right center. It's just a matter of time before this guy gets going, correct?
No question about it, and that's a great start. I know that a couple of the at-bats weren't the at-bats he probably wanted, but when he's driving the ball to right center field, that just opens up the rest of the field for you. And again, I talk about this a lot when guys like Bryce Harper, who's a left-handed hitter, drives the ball to the opposite field consistently, and a guy like JT who drives the ball the opposite way, then you know that they're seeing the ball well, staying behind the ball, and utilizing the entire field. That's when they're going to get hot, and I fully expect Trea Turner to start rolling pretty strongly here soon.
Ruben, I'm looking at the scoreboard, I'm looking at the standings, and if you want to keep up with the Atlanta Braves and you want to take that division, you got to start looking right now. And the Phillies with a win tonight and a Braves loss, they're losing 5-2 at Arizona. The Phillies would be a half game back. I don't think it's too early to start looking at that if they really want the division. Give it to me, Ruben.
Well, I mean, not just that, but you want to play good baseball in the early part of the season. There's been a lot of talk about that, and especially when you're playing against teams like Washington and the Marlins, who are basically teams that are sort of rebuilding right now, not necessarily contending teams, or the expectation is that they may not be a contending team. And so what you want to be sure of is that you play good against those ball clubs, and then sort of hold your own against the clubs that are with you or above you. So it's really about playing good, consistent baseball. I think that's what it's all about. And this team has not gone on all cylinders yet, but it is early, and not too early not to think about trying to win as many games as you possibly can. But it's all about playing consistent baseball, and it all starts with the pitching, and the pitching has been pretty darn good as of late.
I said that just before you joined us, and I'm pretty proud of myself. You're a former general manager. I completely agree. You know it. They gotta romp all over these weak teams, and then you take your chances with the Braves and the other teams of that standing. Okay. I got it down. If you need any more advice, please.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, my friend.
There you go.
It's the first time ever we agree with each other.
Goodbye, Ruben.
I'll only
Goodbye,
ask you about
Rube.
the division about 20, 30 more times.
Hey, it was nice seeing your daughter in the stands today, Ricky.
Yeah, she's not afraid.
Ruben,
she's
further
not.
thoughts? Further thoughts?
No. Let's just go get him tomorrow. We got Ranger on the ridge, and I'm excited about seeing him go out there and deal again.
All right, Ruby. Thanks so much. Ruben Amaro Jr. joining us from D.C. No, I was talking about Olivia Batalico.
That's my girl.
Yes. There's no greater fan for the Phillies
No,
than OB.
She looked very thirsty.
Yeah, she was thirsty. Definitely was.
I mean, the young woman's father is sitting right here, okay?
She's getting ready to graduate.
Yes, indeed. Woo!
And I think it was beneficial for him.
Ben, if you're looking at his numbers and if you have to give him a grade for tonight's performance, what are you giving Aaron Nola?
I think you give him an A-. I thought he was really good. The fastball percentage, both the 4 and the 2 seam, he was at 58% tonight, and that's up for him. The velocity wasn't there. The only reason I say it's an A- is because the velocity was down a little bit. Now, having said that, the 2 seam was moving all over the place. And sometimes it seemed to go laterally. Sometimes it seemed to have a little bit more depth to it. But he could throw that pitch. I love, Ricky always talks about the front door fastball to the lefties. He had that going early on tonight, so that's a very good sign. Guys just give up on that. It's hard to swing at a pitch that starts at your hip. It's not easy to do. I've been there, and it's one of those things, well, this ball's going to hit me, you're going to start to move, and all of a sudden it's running over the inside part of the plate. It's not a good position to be in, but he had that pitch working tonight, and obviously everything it was set up everything else.
They didn't add on
They
the
never
way.
opened up the game. In all honesty, they had 2 innings where they really could have opened this game up, and that's why I said this game really should have been about 10-0, not just 4-0. I thought they had some opportunities, and I mean sometimes that happens in games. They were still 3 for 11 with runners in score position, which is not terrible. But, I mean, the opportunity was there. One big hit even in that inning with Schwarber, another big hit, and you're up 4-5-0 in that inning.
At least they got the couple in that inning because, there are 2 outs there, a 1-2 count. And that's what, I know it's early on in the season, but that is one thing that Kyle Schwarber has been so much better at this year. He just said, I just need to put more balls in play, whether that be up the middle or pull. You got out in front of the slider, still strong enough to poke it through the hole. But there was kind of knocks, 1-2 count, 2 outs, second and third. Give me that guy. Give me that guy any day of the week, the RBI guy. That's why we loved Bohm last year. He was so good in those situations, and he will be in the future. But Kyle Schwarber getting it done tonight, and really in the crunch time.
If he keeps it up like this, and I know it's way early, but 286 batting average, he's on base 3 times. He's 1 for 3 tonight, knocks in 2 runs.
It looks great.
It looks great. Pretty good. Here is Rob Thomson in the manager's office in Nationals Park.
What'd you think of Nola?
It was okay. Again, it was cold, and I think everybody had a little trouble feeling the baseball, but control and command were a little bit off, but he grinded through it, and he got out of a couple of situations. So he was fine.
And then offensively, 4-0. You had traffic every inning. Just what did you make of tonight offensively?
Really good at bats. 9 walks, 9 hits. Everybody in the lineup got on base via walk or base hit. So we saw a lot of pitches. I thought it was pretty strong.
Were you happy with Rojas's at bats, particularly the one in
The walk, and he finally got a ball up in the air. It's down the right field corner, but that's not that we want him to hit fly balls, but we just trying to stay away from smothering the ball.
What have you liked from Schwarber these first 7 games?
Just the way he's battling, he's grinding, he's using the field. I like his 2-strike approach. I know he struck out a couple times today, but he's putting the ball in play. Big 2-out, 2-strike base hit to put us up 3. So, he's really working on it.
How much can having a healthier lower half just help all of that?
Yeah, it's your base. It helps. It really does. Keeps you under control, and you can ride your legs and keep your head still.
With Rojas, do you mean that was a good sign just because to see him drive the ball a little bit?
Yeah, just get the ball up in the air because he's not backing the ball up. So he's getting a lot of ball. You see that top spin where the ball off the end of the bat, first at bat to the first baseman. He's doing a lot of that, so that tells me he's not backing the ball up and he's trying to do too much and going to get it. So finally gets the ball up in the air, and that tells me he backed that ball up.
Was that a scary play when you see a guy dive in the head first like that to first base, or do you?
Yeah. You're always faster standing up. So.
And then bullpen, a couple guys who have bounced back since opening day. Alvarado, Strong. Do you see guys kind of settling in right now? Or?
I think so. They threw the ball well tonight. Again, it was really cold when Alvarado was out there, and I don't know. I have to go back and look at some of those pitches that were balled on him, but yeah, I thought everybody threw the ball well. Sir Anthony's slider was a lot better. Threw strikes. Strom was outstanding. Getting ahead and just pounding the strike zone. So.
I think Garcia was going to score on that play. And the Castellanos throw to the plate, single to left, right.
No, I thought it was a good hold.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time of the game and the score of the game, we were fortunate that Abrams tried to take the extra base, so we got the redirect from Harper, and so Nick hits the cutoff man, good play. Harper redirects, good play, good tag by Trea. So,
and then the base running rundown there with JT and Bryce. What do you want to see happen there?
Just JT left a little bit early. He went first move, and I'm not going to give you the strategy of the whole thing, but you should have just waited a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Schwarber, interestingly enough, has done really well against lefties to start the season. Do you think that that's just like a fluky thing, or like?
I think it's.
Or is there like a reason?
I think it's the fact that he's committed to really using the entire field, and he keeps them on the baseball and doesn't go out and get it. Because the lefties, the ball's running away from you, and you run out of bat if you're going to get it. So I think that commitment has helped him against left-handers.